Hi there, it's Maria, and for today's video, I want to talk about camel pose. So when you normally do camel pose, what do? You take your hands to your low back, fingers point down. Maybe the toes are tucked under, maybe they're not, maybe you have blocks behind you, whatever you need. And from there, you start to lift through the chest and start to bend back. Now, as you bend back, maybe you start to automatically feel it in your low back, and that's kind of a yuck asana. It doesn't feel that good. Maybe then you reach for one foot or one block and then the other. Then you continue to lift, pressing the pelvis forward and lifting up through the chest. And what ends up happening is that you're compressing the low back. And that's not so good for your low back, and it probably doesn't feel that great for a lot of people. Maybe it does for you, but for a lot of us, it doesn't feel that great. And then you take your hands to your low back and you lift up from the back to get out of it, right? Yeah, that's not a fun pose to do. So I want to show you a different version of camel pose. Just take table for a moment to stretch out the back, especially if you followed me along with the previous camel pose. And then come back up onto your knees when you're ready. Now, instead of taking your hands to your low back and bending by lifting the chest and basically dropping back into camel pose, try this. Take your hips back so you're as if you were about to sit on your heels without coming all the way down, and engage the quads. Now as you sit back, reach for the heels and bring the pelvis forward, lifting from the pelvis without compressing the back. Lift as far forward as you can and your back will automatically arch. Now as you do that, pay attention to how your low back feels. Now to come out of it, sit back as if you were once again about to sit on your heels, just not come all the way down. Engage your quads and lift from your quads, not from your back. And just notice, does that feel a lot better for your back? Less compression maybe. So we'll try that again. Send the hips back, hips point back. Take the hands to the heels. Press forward, waving your spine long as you bring the pelvis towards the front, over your knees or as close as possible. Then send the hips back towards the heels, engage your quads, and lift from the legs. So that takes a lot of the pressure out of the low back by sitting back, sending the hips back wide, hands on the heels, and lifting forward instead of dropping back. And once again, to come out of it, same way, and reverse. You take the hips back towards the heels, engage your legs, and lift. And notice how much more comfortable that feels. So I like to play with it, just sending it back, grabbing the heels, and waving up the front line of the body. And with your neck, keep the neck long. No need to send the chin all the way up. Send it back and come up. Awesome. So try that and see how it feels for your back. And I'd love to hear from you to see how it feels compared to regular camel pose. Thanks for watching.